Hello. Don't hold that against me. Okay, my presentation is going to be on click art. The click bit's all about interactivity, because that's what the company I work for, Cogapp, do. Art is all about stuff like this, and we work for museums and galleries around the world, so we get to work with really amazing content. I'm going to talk about some of the work we've done, some things we find really inspiring, and some completely random stuff thrown in between. So hopefully the next slide will kick in. Very long, 20 seconds. This is a really good example, I think, of interactive art, and I think banners can be really beautiful, and this is a really nice example of that. This is a project for Adobe done in San Francisco, and the banner triggers animations using motion detection as you walk past. When the pedestrian has passed, it then resets itself and gets ready for another random animation for the next passerby. This is all about, I think, a project called Pimp My Pump, which I think is a really nice use of art. Offline, the idea is you get a nice pair of trainers, somebody draws on them, you can then turn up at an event, find out where it is at the website, and somebody can pimp your pumps, or you can pimp their pumps for them, rather than pumping other pimps, which is a completely different website. But I think it's a really nice use of art, and that works really, really well. This is talking about search, and I think search is really interesting in galleries, because people get really inspired in art galleries and museums, and I think if we had Google for art, this is what it should look like. And I think there's a really clever use of this, and talking about searching emotionally. We're just doing stuff for colour here, and I think this is lovely work done by Simona Forgetti, and emotion, and you can search in that way. This is somebody I had the honour of being able to work with, a guy called Malcolm Garrett, on a number of projects, and he's a pioneer of graphic design and a champion of digital design. He talks about communication and making things clear and understandable. And once you've done that, he talks about craft and making things really beautiful. And I think that's quite often forgotten in graphic design and interactive design, so you should find out more about him. This is MoMA. It's a beautiful art gallery in New York. We did some work for them recently called MoMA Guide. We worked with Malcolm Garrett on that. MoMA's designed by a guy called Taniguchi. Beautiful building, minimal architecture, incredible collection of work, and it's a really active gallery, but they had a bit of a problem in that they had no signage, so people had a tendency to get lost in the gallery. So Cogapp were commissioned to produce this, which is called MoMA Guide. We worked on this. It's a beautiful fluid interface. This stuff is installed in the gallery next to the art. So what starts to happen is you get really incredible art scans, and they're the hero of this piece. And we're showing this at a low resolution at the moment, but what you're able to do is go into really close into the canvas and really kind of find out so much more about the artwork and really kind of connect with the art that you're exploring in the gallery. Just to give you an example of some of the scans we've got, what we're trying to do here really, I think, is just to connect really with that whole experience. And I think these artworks become so beautiful, and the interactive doesn't have to do too much work at this point. And I think it's a really, really lovely way to see, you know, interactive used. So this is surface view. If you go to the V&A and you see some stuff that you like, you can buy the booklet, you can buy a little A5 kind of poster of it, you can buy, you know, a catalogue, but you can also now, through this company that does big print stuff, buy it for your house, and you can get it printed the size of your house. And I think it's really nice to see collections and art gallery works being used in this way, and people can kind of take that home. If you can't afford that, you can then go to this website. It's called Pictures on Walls. It's brilliant. You can buy a Banksy for about 100 quid, or you can buy loads and loads of other stuff for, you know, 7 quid. It's brilliant. It does what it says on the tin. It makes art cheap and accessible for everybody, and I think that's really, really important. And I love the idea of that because, you know, lots of people can't afford it. Cogapp don't just do art for museums and galleries, we do loads and loads of stuff for companies. This is an installation we've done recently for Prudential. It uses some stuff called HoloPro glass, which means you can create projections on the glass, and you get a sense of levitation as well. It uses transparency. But what we're doing with these projections, actually in the space itself, is projecting these animations, and they're huge. It's the world's biggest sheet of HoloPro glass. So everything you're seeing here are animations based on company data. So as a brand experience, it's completely organic. It can be updated on the fly, you can change text, it's completely multilingual. And I think as an art experience and installation, it becomes really, really powerful, and it's lovely to see it used in that way. I'm talking about lots of stuff that seems to have big ideas, but sometimes art can kind of be a little bit simpler and a bit more stupid than that. And I think this is a lovely example of Pecha going to a gallery and frankly getting quite bored and doing a lookalike competition. So top level you've got Chaz and Dave, right at the bottom, Pat Butcher. Really, it's completely stupid, but it's lovely to see it used in that way. This is the British Museum, the Great Court. It's the oldest museum in the world. Cogapp have just done a load of work for them. We did some brand extension online for them and did a website for them and lots of other stuff. And I think it's a huge gallery with a massive collection, and it's a really active gallery. And one of the main things that we started to do for them was look at their website, and this is a small part of it. It's called Explore because we figured that's what people really want to do with the museum. So in the case of the British Museum, the stuff we work with, there's 6 million objects here. So what you're able to do with it is make incredible journeys and make incredible connections. But we weren't just talking about a website at this point with the British Museum, we're also talking about doing a multi-touch interactive table. And what we want to do is be able to take these interactive experiences into the gallery. So here we have 6 million objects on the interactive, but we have 5 million visitors. And that makes a really powerful interactive experience, and we hope that people can kind of use that and really explore the gallery in different ways. This is showing a multi-touch installation that's in Helsinki. And one of the interesting things with multi-touch is not just talking about the iPhone, which is frankly a bit too small. This is a massive multi-touch. And there's no keyboard or mouse here, it's just about interaction. And I think what you start doing is interacting with content, and for graphic designers that's really exciting because you can focus more on beautiful stuff rather than just ways of navigating to it. Mobile phones, I'm crap at texts, but I'll probably text to this. This is in Copenhagen. Questions are projected onto the side of buildings. You get to text your answer to that question, and it gets animated and randomly projected on the side of the building and bounced off in beautiful ways. There's not a big idea behind it, but it's very clever. Flickr, everybody knows Flickr, and I think it's interesting to see it being used in this way. There's a guy called Chris Keegan, who's an illustrator. Lots of illustrators have portfolios of about 20 or 30 images on each of their websites. This guy's not bothering to do that. He's just uploading stuff, uploading sketches, sharing it, and sharing ideas. This is my daughter Kitty doing a massive picture, and I think what's happening here is, if I can summarise, it's about being playful with your work, being innovative with the technology that you're going to use, and most importantly being really engaging for yourself and for the users that are going to be using your content. That's it. There's more on our blog.